We were at a point of dramatic tension yesterday in the story of Ruth. Now let's look at Ruth chapter 4. Boaz went to the town gate and took a seat there. Just then the family redeemer he had mentioned came by, so Boaz called out to him, "Come over here and sit down, friend. I want to talk to you." So they sat down together. Then Boaz called 10 leaders from the town and asked them to sit as witnesses. And Boaz said to the family redeemer, "You know Naomi, who came back from Moab. She is selling the land that belonged to our relative Elimelech. I thought I should speak to you about it so that you can redeem it, if you wish. If you want the land, then buy it here in the presence of these witnesses. But if you don't want it, let me know right away, because I am next in line to redeem it after you." The man replied, "All right, I'll redeem it." Then Boaz told him, "Of course, your purchase of the land from Naomi also requires that you marry Ruth, the Moabite widow. That way she can have children who will carry on her husband's name and keep the land in the family." "Then I can't redeem it," the family redeemer replied, "because this might endanger my own estate. You redeem the land. I cannot do it." Now in those days it was the custom in Israel for anyone transferring a right of purchase to remove his sandal and hand it to the other party. This publicly validated the transaction. So the other family redeemer drew off his sandal as he said to Boaz, "You buy the land." Then Boaz said to the elders and to the crowd standing around, "You are witnesses that today I have bought from Naomi all the property of Elimelech. You are witnesses that today I have bought from Naomi all the property of Elimelech, Kilion, and Mahlon. And with the land I have acquired Ruth, the Moabite widow of Mahlon, to be my wife. This way she can have a son to carry on the family name of her dead husband and to inherit the family property here in his hometown. You are all witnesses today." Now that still seems very strange to us, especially the taking off the sandal arc. But we have to remember there were no photocopiers, and writing down legal contracts would have been expensive, would have been difficult. Not everybody could read, not everybody could write. And so there were simple ways to exchange property, exchange symbols that said, this is a legal act, a legal contract. So Boaz has bought the land and won the right to Ruth's hand in marriage. It's another lesson in character, possibly, because the first redeemer is seemingly happy to buy the land. He's interested if he can work the land, get the profit from the land. But as soon as he realizes that he has to marry Ruth, he's not so sure. It means that there will be sons that will lay claim to the land that he will have worked, but they will have the right of inheritance. It may mean that as he's already married, his wife may be none too pleased at the arrangement. We don't know, not exactly. What we do know is the man is looking after his own interests, the interest of his family, his inheritance. And so he hands the sandal to Boaz, and Boaz takes Ruth as his wife. It seems the story has a happy ending after all. Whatever the moments of tension, Ruth and Boaz are to be husband and wife. Of course, it isn't quite the end of the story. And there is a happier ending many, many years down the line. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. But before we go, I have a thought, a question, a challenge. Have a think. Are there any areas in your life right now, your work, your family, your relationships, where it's just possible you're putting your self-interest, what's right for you, above your character, above your name, above what might be right for God's plans? How can you be sure? It's hard to analyse our own motivation for things, isn't it? But that's why it's so important that we take time every now and then just to reflect on why we're doing things, evaluate things that we're already doing, think about changes we might make. In this pandemic, there are many opportunities to evaluate what was right before, what's right now. Am I ready to change? Am I ready to adapt? Am I ready to admit that my motivation isn't always what it could be? Only you and God know. See you tomorrow.